Hello, my name is Lisa. Welcome to Prairie Imperfection, where I share my imperfect journey through motherhood and life in general. So today I am sharing my fertility story and how I became the mother of 2 babies. So I will just start from the beginning. I was 26 when I got married. I knew my husband, or we had been dating since I was 20 basically. So we had known each other and had been in a relationship for 6 years before we got married. So when we got married, we were okay with having babies right away, though we were not specifically trying. Before we got married, we were not being sexually active, so I was never on any sort of birth control before that. And like I said, we weren't afraid to get pregnant once we were married, so I was not on birth control after we got married either. But I did start to kind of look into how fertility even works. Started to track my cycle, so I kind of knew what was going on. So we got married in June, and then by November I got pregnant. So that was 5 months into being married I got pregnant, but I lost that pregnancy at 7 weeks. I had a miscarriage. So yes, I grieved that for the next month, and then by January of the next year I was ready to try to conceive. So we tried to conceive for a few months, and we got pregnant with our first kid in March of 2015. So we had her in November of 2015. And she was a beautiful baby girl with her big chubby cheeks that her dad had always dreamed of, and we were in bliss with our new little baby. And yes, so after that, I obviously wanted to think about birth control. So at my 6-week postpartum checkup, my doctor actually prescribed me a birth control pill that was something that I could take while I was breastfeeding. So I actually got that prescription, but I never could bring myself to take it because it bothered me to put some sort of hormone in my body, because I felt like it's unnatural. And I didn't want to struggle anymore with depression or weight gain, because I think weight gain was one of the side effects listed, and I had already gained 60 pounds in my pregnancy. And being postpartum already, you have a lot of hormones and emotions going on, so it's just something I did not want to add to my problems. So I looked a little bit on the internet, and I found that there was a natural family planning method called LAM. Maybe I'm mixing, maybe it's not natural family planning. I don't know too much about what is considered in that realm, but it is a method that goes with lactation, and a few other things need to be met, and that is a very effective birth control method, and it worked for me for the first 6 months. And then after that, I was tracking my cycle and learning more about natural family planning and listening to my body cues. So I began doing the natural family planning after the LAM method could no longer be used. So I did that, and I figured out pretty well when I was ovulating through cervical mucus mostly, and also just tracking on my calendar the days. So I did that. So when my daughter turned 1, we moved to a new house with a yard, and we got all excited, and I threw caution to the wind one night because I thought, if you just did it once, it would be okay. Who gets pregnant just on one try? Even though I knew like it was in the fertile window. But yes, I did end up getting pregnant. So now we have a son too. So we had my son was born in September of 2017. My daughter was almost 2 when he was born. So it's a pretty good age gap actually, even though, I was aiming more for when my daughter was between 2 and 3 that we would conceive, but what's a few months really. So now we have a daughter and a son, and we have the $1 million family like people say. But I don't know why that's a term, because I always find that so kind of weird that people think that's the perfect family, a daughter and a son. Like, I guess for me, every child is a blessing. I was actually hoping for two daughters, but then also, once he was born, I realized how ridiculous that is, because I love him and I would love any child that I am blessed to have. And I think most parents would feel that way. But anyways, yes, we have that, and people always say now, so are you done? Now that you have the $1 million family, now that you have the perfect family, you must be done. You got a daughter and a son. You don't have to try anymore, which I don't know. That is not why we would stop trying. But having 2 kids overwhelmed us with responsibility. After I had my son, I struggled a lot with depression and body image, and I was not taking care of myself because I had 2 babies to look after. So I felt I could not handle having any more kids, and my husband felt the same. But I worked really hard the last couple years on my mental health and learning self-care and learning nutrition and trying to just be happy again. And I feel like now I am at a place where I could welcome another baby with joy, though we are still, what is it called? TTP, trying to prevent. A couple months ago, I started getting early pregnancy symptoms, and I thought for sure I was pregnant, which turns out I was not. I don't know what the heck was going on, but it made me realize, like, I would be excited for another baby if that is what God chose for us. I have been watching a lot of different YouTubers that have been encouraging me to see that children are a blessing and not a burden, and I'm changing my life to try to make it more affordable for us to live with kids, because in this day and age it's kind of insane how unaffordable life is for working class people. Just simple life. So anyways, I'm off on a tangent. So right now we're still trying to prevent. My husband says he's 95% sure he's done. I am at the point where I would feel totally content and blessed to have my 2 babies if that was all that we're going to have. But I also do feel like I would be happy and joyful and excited to add a new life to our family if that happens, or if that would come. I think right now I'm feeling, what am I feeling? Like, I don't know that I would try very hard to conceive, but I am starting to feel like a little less desperate to prevent now that I'm feeling healthier and happier. So that is where our fertility journey is at right now. We will see what happens in the future. Yes, thank you for watching. I will talk to you in the next, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.